Welcome to the One More Thing Tech Podcast, where we geek out on everything tech. I'm your host, Adam.
And I'm Kewsi.
So, how was your week, Kewsi? Let's start off with that.
My week? Like, my weekend or my full week?
The week. Let's do the whole week this time.
Okay. It was pretty good. I worked most of the week, so nothing
As
too
did I.
interesting there. But no, I had a pretty decent week. Went to church on Sunday, and then went to another church for an evening service, and then we played basketball afterwards yesterday. So that
Did you
was pretty
win?
Cool. Of course, I won.
Okay.
Dude, I was playing with one of my football teammates, right? And I made it a point that I didn't want to be on his team. And he was like, "Oh, it's like that? We're going to see who's going to win." And we saw who won, man. We saw who won. Just saying. It was
Very
me.
humble.
Very humble.
Very humble.
I always tell you, I'm the most humble person you'll ever meet. How was your weekend, though?
It was good. A little busy sometimes, but yeah. Went out, did some lunch some places, and did some shopping. And I got a gift from my wife for Mother's Day that was essentially just a Switch accessory. Remember in Best Buy, we were there, and she's like, "I like that not Joy-Cons, but it's like a Joy-Con, but also a controller." I got that for her.
Very
And a $20 Switch gift card for Switch Online. So,
Very
yeah,
nice,
just
very
kind
nice.
of relax a little bit and spend time with the family and stuff like that. But other than that, it's pretty good.
Yeah, this was actually my first Mother's Day away from home.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
But, my mom will be receiving her gift when I get back this weekend. Also, go ahead.
No, what'd you get her?
So, funny story, right? Every holiday, right, I'll get my mom just a bunch of candles, right? And then I'll get her something else like a card. Because the card is where the real thought has been put into.
Is it a funny card?
But really, when I'm giving my mom candles, it's because I know my mom isn't going to use all these candles, right?
Yeah.
And so, as a result, the candles come back around to me. So really, I'm gifting my mom and myself because, I'm obviously her favorite child. Oh, my siblings are not going to like that, but it's definitely true. Me and my mom are like this. I love my mom so much. Shout out to my mom. She's awesome. And, she deserves every good thing that comes her way. Best Buy, though. We did go to Best Buy. Oh, wait. Let me address the elephant in the room. Adam, we've received feedback from some of the listeners. We take too long on these podcasts. They don't want to sit here for an hour, Adam. So today we got to try and cut it down. Let's try and keep it under 45 minutes if that's possible.
Let's see what we can do there, for
Okay.
sure.
However, I'm going to start on a tangent that's not part of the actual podcast right now.
Let's hear it.
And let me tell you something. On what was it, Monday? Was it Monday that we went to Best Buy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last Monday we went to Best Buy with Adam. And Adam, he's such a great co-host. He took me out. We went to go eat with his wife. I met his family. They're awesome. We went to Best Buy, right? And I don't know what it is, but I would walk by. Well, first off, that's not true because the first thing, it was an iPhone 16 Pro, not the Pro Max, just the Pro because I don't like the Pro Max. All right, it had Asphalt 9 on it, right? And Asphalt 9, if you don't know, is a game that needs to be played in landscape mode, right? So
Agreed.
I turned the phone to put it in landscape mode. And then all I hear is this loud alarm. It was horrible. And then the lady walks over. She's like, "You trying to steal it?" I was like, Of course. Because, you got to crack a joke. But the way she looked at me after that, I don't think she...
The best thing you could have said there, because she
I don't
has
think she
no idea who
believed
you
me.
are.
Yeah. But then later on, we're just walking around the store. Because, Best Buy is the greatest store known to man. It goes Best Buy, the Apple Store, and then wherever you get your groceries at.
Okay.
And then we were walking around the store, and I walked by some. I walked by is kind of a stretch, right?
We're so far away.
I kind of passed it, from a good distance away, and the alarm went off. So I don't know if they were like keeping extra close eyes on me. I don't even remember looking at the thing, to be honest with you. But yeah,
And it wasn't your first time in this Best Buy. It was
absolutely
for sure like,
not.
yeah,
At
it
least
made no
my
sense
age.
at all. Yeah, I mean, your essence just walked by that and it went off, and it was like, what's going on here? And I will tell you, it took at least 32 years for the hell alarm to be turned off.
Yeah,
And it
pretty
was,
bad.
yeah. No matter, she went to get like 12 keys that didn't work, and you would think they'd be more prepared for something like this, you know? I mean, I'm surprised
Yeah.
SWAT didn't come. It took so long. It was ridiculous, but it was, to say the least, still a fun experience. Yes, it
Right.
was fun, and dinner was great too.
Dinner
Except the
was great.
lasagna. I was told that was just awful.
It was kind of mid.
Yeah. So for lunch, we actually, well, not we, some of the family, we got Olive Garden again. And what did they get, Kewsi? Just guess. The one thing they got
The
was
lasagna.
lasagna. So I'm going
Very
to have to
nice.
pass on this. I got some feedback recently from somebody that said it was subpar at best, which, you know, was most of the food at Olive Garden. But
I'm not gonna lie, the Alfredo was really good,
yeah, that's what I got. So
and the
fun little
breadsticks.
fact.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah, but like I'm talking about their main dishes, just could be better, you know.
Definitely.
I tell you this, it did get a little better than last time I went. And we got to tell them the story too with what happened at the restaurant while we're off topic.
Oh, go ahead.
So it starts off. We go to this restaurant, and you know it's nice and everything. And me and Kewsi beforehand were like, we've got to see how long we can make this Parmesan last before she stops just completely turning that little handle. And I asked a question. I asked her, how many times have you turned that, and how many blocks have you gone through before someone says stop? And what did she say, Kewsi?
She said
3 blocks. 3. Can you imagine the time it? I mean, that is a whole shift of turning that handle, at least.
Somebody was evil that day.
And like she didn't specify if it was like for a whole table, but it sounded like she's talking about one person. I think so. But in any case, so we had this little like, are we going to do this right now? And I think we both agreed to do it. So the first time she does on the salad, my wife just stops it, right? But then we agreed on something after that the second salad we're going to make that call ourselves, and we did. Then I'm like, is Kewsi going to say it or I'm going to say it? Well, for sure he said it because I thought I was going to keep going
getting
for
a
at
little
least a
bit
block.
nervous.
To answer some questions, we got half a block in, okay? Half a block there. We thought that was a good stopping point, and we did. But it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be this time, so I'm just happy. So we did get the Alfredo again this weekend, but it was good. It was good.
Very nice, very nice. All right, let's get started. Actually, like let's lock back in
Let's log back in. Let's
with
do it.
the first thing on our list. Fortnite includes Apple in-app purchases and Epic checkout into the app, or not into the app store, but I think it's into the app. Hold on, let me.
Yeah.
I think I'm totally butchering this article, but from what I've read, I'm pretty sure Fortnite is going to possibly be returning to the App Store because they just won the antitrust lawsuit.
I hate that they did.
And-
I hate it.
I'll be
can't
honest with
stand
you.
it.
For the gamers, I don't understand why you'd want to play Fortnite on a phone anyway. It's not the greatest experience ever. Of course, I was a lot younger when I played it, so I think the nostalgia just isn't hitting because getting 360 no scoped is just not fun on mobile. Like I think I downloaded it on my mom's iPad. She did not want me to download it on her iPad, by the way, but it just was not a fun experience.
Just happened to be there. I think it was more playing on an iPad than it was on a phone, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it's iPad more than anything else. But, I mean, we have our own opinions. I mean, overall, are you in favor of the court case decision? Just quickly, before we get too far into this. You're muted, by the way.
Don't know how that happened, but I was saying, so there's two sides to every story. I can see why Epic would want to, circumvent Apple's Apple's tax, right? Because like Spotify does it. Spotify needs that money, right? Epic Games needs that money. But also, I think that because Apple gives the platform, because I'm gonna be honest with you, there's a lot of iPhone users in this world, right? And because Apple works so hard to build that I don't want to say following, but build that customer base, I feel like they should be rewarded. And especially when it's their product and they're allowing you to be on their app store. In addition to that, they're allowing you to take advantage of their consumers with microtransactions. And, it's really bad because, kids will buy VC with their parents' credit cards all the time. It was a big thing back then. So that's
major.
I can see why Apple would want to cash in on that because they're giving Epic that kind of free leeway. But then again, Epic wants to make that money, and they're still making a lot of money. They're making a lot. People are purchasing it a lot, and I don't think it should be that big of an issue. But also, it's hard to see who's like morally wrong here is the issue for me. But what are your thoughts?
I just go back so I kind of swayed my decision from last episode where I think the biggest issue with this entire thing is the rate of what they charge, the 30%.
Right.
So if it was reduced to, let's say, 15%, let's just say half, is that more compelling for developers? The one thing you have to realize is this. Apple is not the only platform doing this.
Correct.
Everybody else does this as well. So if that's the case, why are they the ones that are targeted more than anybody else, as I said before? The other part of it is this. As we discussed before, most games are just you buy it once. There's in-app purchases. Fortnite is a great example with season passes, right? Yeah. And I'm pretty sure at the time when it was on, you could still buy those through the App Store. And if I'm not mistaken, someone told me this, that the Fortnite App Store player base was huge. I mean, I think it was over 60% of their entire player base was on iOS device of some sort. That's nuts to me.
That is kind of crazy.
I don't know why. But regardless of all of that, I think what needs to be a sound compromise is that they reduce the rate because that is a lot of money they're bringing in. I get that. And the developers that want to make the game. 15% or 10.
15%?
Yeah, that's what I think. Because it's like they're acting as if that's their main source of income. It's not. They make like a bunch of money off everything else.
Right.
And if I'm not mistaken, Apple is like super rich, like a lot of rich. So, is that necessary for them to strive? I don't think so. And I was listening to Genius Bar, and they are both, and they don't really agree at the same time most of the time at all. But they were both saying that Apple is not being fair with this choice, and Tim Cook was swaying towards making the bad choice according to the court cases. So I just think that instead of making a drastic change where the platform can't just be the only source of that in-app purchase or game purchase, that you now get to have everybody put their hand in the pie. And you see now, just to go back, Stripe was the company that I was trying to think of last episode. I could not think of. They gave me 4 seconds to answer, by the way. But Stripe is a platform that's allowing... It's funny. Stripe is a platform that's giving developers guides how to get past the in-app purchase, right? So Stripe is one platform you can do that with. So is now the Epic game stores. And I'm not so opposed to this, but I'm curious to see this. With this not being in place, which I think as of right now it is, how many people choose other platforms? And it would be so funny in my head, Kewsi, if, because of this court case, people still don't choose third-party marketplaces and they choose just to go through Apple regardless. It would be a big slap in the face to Epic, which I think they need to have. I mean, once again, I still think that, they weren't blindsided by this fee. They knew this going into this whole entire iOS experience. They knew that it's a 30% cut, and they still agreed to that, and then they got mad later on. Don't agree to it if you don't believe in it. You can just not be on an iPhone, which I know it's going to hurt their sales.
Or
but
you can do like a web app.
Or
I don't
that.
think web apps have to pay the tax. I could be wrong, but
Or just put it on Game Pass, which people are just playing, on the cloud anyway. I guess the whole point is this. I think there's a lot of blame to go around here. It's not just one place. I'm not trying to favor Apple in every way, but I do think that there has to be a fee because of what they're offering to the people. Because keep in mind, you're playing Fortnite on iOS using Apple servers, which it's not free for them to do that. And they're not charging you like a Game Pass fee per year to play it. So this is the way they make their money, to do that.
Right.
So I know it's going back to what we discussed already, but I still think that if Apple still did like 10% cut, Epic would not be okay with that. They would want 0% cut and use their own third-party purchase platform. And that's the problem I think we have, is it opens up another realm of security with iOS. Because is that going to open up more kernel access to have more problems in the future for like spyware and malware? I don't know. Maybe not. I'm scared about it a little bit. But this whole article brings up some new light with this. So what they're doing is they're going to allow both for Fortnite if it gets approved. So it's submitted to the App Store as of last week. And what they're saying is they're going to still allow the Apple in-app purchase to be there plus their web store. That's a turn I was not expecting at all. What are your thoughts?
I also wasn't expecting it, but I think it could definitely work, especially because it gives consumers that option, and options are where it's at. I see how you're looking at me. What's wrong?
I just scrolled down the page, and now I know why they did it, because they're saying, if you want to use Apple's, it's going to be this. Or if you want to use the Epic Store platform,
you can get 20% back in
20% additional. So there's no favoritism
again,
at all.
It's predatory. I don't like that at all, but I do like getting rebates and rewards. That's why I'm always at McDonald's, like I was telling you the other day.
Yes.
Speaking of which, this is completely off topic, but they have a new Hershey Mocha Frap that I'm going to be trying today. I'll let you guys know my thoughts, maybe, if I remember. I might tweet it out.
Okay. And by the way, also, we keep talking about the Discord server. It's still there for sure, and we did not post that link at all in this last show notes. So I'll update that for sure, and for sure include in this description too. But of course, they're going to figure their own platform for the web store. Correct? I mean, that's just how it's going to be. And here's the thing about that: this is a method where I'm not completely against. Right? Everybody can choose what they want to do. That's fine. But I don't know. I'm just curious how they're going to do this. But also, the example that we see on Mac Rumors, 95 Mac, is $22.99 for V-Bucks. Has that been the case the whole time? Are they that expensive?
Is that how expensive they are? I
don't
try
know,
not to think about it. It probably is that expensive.
Yeah, it seems expensive to
but
me.
I typically buy the 800 V-Bucks. Sorry, I think it's 1,000. It's either 800 or 1,000 V-Bucks that I purchase. And
that's like half the game
$10.
cost.
No, Fortnite is free.
Well, it is now. Let's go back to
Fortnite has
early
always
days.
been free.
No, it hasn't.
Are you sure?
It used to be $40. I bought the game when it was $40 back in the day, and they went free to play. They did. There's no doubt about that. But
it was definitely not always free. It was Fortnite saved the world.
Yep.
And it
completely changed the game, by the way, too. It used to be essentially you would go out and get resources, build up like a defense for your area, and you fight waves. That's what it used to be, if you can believe that. And it's not that anymore. It's far more of like
crazy.
Just PvP. Yeah.
All right,
which
but
is
we've been
why
on this topic for a bit.
Yeah, sorry.
We've got to switch to standard our time limit.
Yes. The next topic we have.
Go ahead. You got it.
Sorry. You go ahead.
No, I'm not going to do it anymore. You got
it. iOS 19 is going to include a feature to greatly simplify Wi-Fi experience. Now, let's define that just a little bit. Have you ever gone to the airport or any hotel that exists and they make you fill out this like form before you go, and you get on their Wi-Fi, and then you have to confirm you're on the Wi-Fi, then you're finally on it. Planes do this too. Essentially, what's happening now is they're going to autofill that form out, essentially, or pre-save this information for these platforms that do this, and make that more seamless. I kind of like that. That's something I wasn't expecting this
that's
whatsoever.
more than a kind of. That is.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you don't understand how happy that makes me. Because let me tell you something, Adam. I have 3 Apple devices that I take. Well, the watch just connects to Wi-Fi off my phone, so I'm not counting that. But I have 3 Apple devices that I take with me everywhere. It's my iPad, my iMac, and my phone, right? And I always get to the airport super early. It's a curse because my dad taught me if you're not there 5 hours early, the plane is going to leave without you, right? So I'm usually there all day, right? Like this upcoming week, my flight's at 12. I'm going to be at the airport at 7 a.m. Why? I don't know. I don't know why I'm going to be at the airport at 7 a.m. I just have nothing better to do with my life, apparently. That's not the point. The point is I spend a lot of time in the airport. And typically I'll because I'm a military child, I have my military ID so I can go to the USO. And I'll sit in there. It's like a little lounge for military people. And I'll sit in the USO and I'll connect to the Wi-Fi. And it really just irks me to no end that I have to connect on 3 separate devices 3 separate times. So if Apple is going to look at what I put for one thing and then allow me to use that one form for all 3 things, that's absolutely beautiful. I love Apple. Like, I don't know what else to say.
Is this feature on Android at all? I'm not sure.
I have no clue because I've never owned more than one Android device at a time.
And I'm not trying to bash Android here. I'm just asking a question because this could be a feature that is not stolen from Android that's coming to iOS. So kind of happy that's going to be the case. But yes, for travelers and I guess for travelers, which is probably the reason you would do this, hotels, planes are going to be this too. Now, see, I guess not planes at all. Planes are going to definitely charge per device. You do this per device. But
Right.
Hotels and airports and other venues that might use the same type of thing. Even all of that for the ONU guests, so just so you know. But that is going to be great. And that I'm not sure this is going to stick for the whole year. That's a good question to find out. But we're going to find out when WWDC comes out, which is Kewsi. We are like a month away from WWDC. Can you believe that?
I know, we're getting there.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
That's a feature that I'm looking forward to like crazy that
Me
would
too.
make iOS 19 more compelling for sure. And on a brand new iPhone, I cannot wait for sure. So I'm looking forward to that because, I mean, Apple Intelligence is not going to be there yet. You know that. You know it's not going to be.
It might be.
By the way, Apple Intelligence, just a little off topic here. Did you know that in the court case with Epic, they were talking about they need more time to roll out what they want to roll out for Apple Intelligence?
I did not know that, but I did see that they're like.
More time?
I saw that we're being, or not we, but Apple's being sued for Siri, I'm butchering this, but Apple's being sued for having Siri listening to private conversations and stuff, and so there's like a $20 thing that everybody's gonna get or something like that.
I seen that. I'm probably not going to do that.
Oh, I definitely will. That's what 5, 6, 7 devices I've have Siri on all times. That's what.
Oh, it's per device. Huh?
$140. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I might do it. I'll see. But yeah, feature I'm looking forward to. It's gonna be great. iOS 19 should be dropping in September of this year with a new iPhone. So looking forward to that, and I'm gonna probably be testing out the beta. I'm not sure about you, Kewsi, but for sure.
You're not sure about me.
I mean,
You don't need to be sure.
no.
I'm already on the betas. I'm on the betas on everything except my Mac. But I was on the beta for my Mac for what is it? Mac OS Sequoia. When Sequoia, I was on Sonoma and I saw the little feature where the iPhone mirroring, and I don't have the patience to wait. You know what I mean? Like I had to get it immediately. So that's what we did, and we're always on the beta. I have both the developer beta, like I can use either the developer beta or the public beta. Obviously, the public beta is a little bit safer, but when have I been known to care about safe?
It's gotten a lot better over the years. I think the last beta I had 2 issues with my phone, and they weren't major, which is funny because when I was outside of beta, I had more problems than I did within a beta. Funny fact, but in any case, moving on to something completely unrelated. Chrome has rolled out a feature that I think is going to be quite nice. They're bringing their Gemini AI to combat scams in Chrome. Now, what that kind of rolls out to is they're going to alert you or filter out websites that are known to be scam websites and just block them from being even used, or just you be notified. I think it's going to be blocked and notified both. And you can choose to opt in and continue if you like to, if you know the site's not bad. Nice feature, because Kewsi, I had this little epiphany that I've seen more and more. Like, over the years, we know like a virus is pretty much not a thing anymore because malware exists and scareware exists, stuff like that. I gotta be honest with you. If I'm a person that's going to do harm to somebody, and I'm a coder, I'm going to use an extension in Chrome or a scareware website to get your money and to hack you more than anything else, because it's way easier for you to find a Facebook ad or some type of whatever link you clicked on that goes to something you're not supposed to, or a text or whatever, right? That's a scareware site that gets you to download this extension or download my remote software so I can scam you. That has become more and more of a thing than anything else I've seen in like the last 10 years. So if that's the case, the need for malware coding is just not there anymore like it used to be. Now it's still going to be there.
Okay, so there was never a need?
Well,
okay,
for hackers. For hackers. Let's go on the other side of that. But, you know, I'm more curious how this is going to roll out, because I think that, I think Google first off has to do this. They need to remove the scams from their own search engine first. Let's just try that. I have seen like scams on that more than anything else, and they should probably do that a little better, which they probably will now with this. Right. But just what are your thoughts with this?
I think, I think it's a great thing. Being able to combat scam websites, and especially for like older people, I shouldn't have said older people, but like people who have been around for a long time probably don't trust AI as much as we do. But if that AI can be used to be shown that it's actually helping them, actually protecting them from some of the very real dangers on the internet, then I think there's nothing bad about that, unless hackers can and scammers can find a way around that code. But for the vast majority, I think right now it'll be very helpful.
I do too. To break it down, this is what they actually say. Google is using AI to cut down scams in Chrome and Android to deliver AI-powered warnings for spamming or misleading notifications. That's great. Prompting users to unsubscribe, and more focus on tech support scams. That's massive. Now, I'm not sure how they're going to combat that, if it's like a text or something like that, but once you download the software for the remote session, you're kind of screwed anyway, which people at all of that have fallen for, by the way. It scares me to even know that's a thing. But this is going to help me think a lot, and I'm excited for it. So now I'm more also curious if this is going to roll out to the rest of Chromium browsers like Brave, Edge, everything else. That'd be great if we see that. We'll see.
Okay. Up next.
Okay. Speaking of flights.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm taking a flight this week. And What's the first thing you got to do? Well, not the first thing, because obviously you got to put your luggage up, and you got to sit down, make sure you're comfortable, get your little pillow out. But what are the one of the most important things for an airplane is to turn your phone on airplane mode. We've been kind of scared into believing that if your phone isn't on airplane mode, the entire plane is going to just like fall out of the air, which is very not real. Okay, quickly just to explain how airplane mode works. It's more to save people on the ground than to save you, because your phone will continue to send out what's it called? You know what I mean? Like it's trying to communicate with the cell towers, so your phone will just keep sending out those waves and waiting for a response, and those waves will get stronger and stronger and stronger until it can find a cell tower, and at that point, it's messing with the frequencies in the cockpit, and that's not very helpful to the pilots. So keep your phone on airplane mode. But what we're seeing is Starlink, right? A little story with Starlink. I know I'm going off on tangents. I will get to the article here in a second, I promise. In Guam, I had a Starlink. Oh, in case you guys didn't know, I lived in Guam for 3 years. But in Guam, the Wi-Fi speeds were not that fast, so my dad bought a Starlink because, he was on this Elon Musk fad. He was about to buy a Tesla, but my mom stopped him, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, Starlink. Starlink is pretty decent for Wi-Fi, especially when you're out in the middle of nowhere. I got to stop going off on tangents. So, United Airlines is partnering with SpaceX's Starlink to provide fast and reliable Wi-Fi on its flights starting May 15th, which, if you didn't know, is in 3 days, but actually will be like a day after or a day before we release this episode. And the first flights will be between Chicago and Detroit, with the goal of eliminating spotty in-flight Wi-Fi and those high connectivity fees. What are your thoughts, Adam? I've talked for a while.
I am super happy to see this because I don't know what they use you for, but it's always pretty awful for the most part. You pay like $9 per device to go on Wi-Fi, and you get like under 20 down speeds, and then it fluctuates like crazy because of the flight. But one thing I'm excited to see, though, is we're looking at speeds up to 300 down in a flight. That is absolute nuts. It's not fiber quite yet. It'd be very hard to run fiber to a plane while it's in flight. Beside the point of that, 300 down is going to be fantastic. And one thing I read online with this is it does not require you to be in airplane mode we're using. Let's see. It's before the flight, I think, is what they're saying. Is that what it says there, Kewsi?
Hold on, let me check.
It's not required to turn airplane mode on before your flight now with this new technology for some reason, which it shouldn't at this point anyway.
Well, I think how it works is
don't turn that on at all. By the way.
Wow. So if we ever take a flight together and the plane crashes, I want everyone to know it's because Adam didn't have his phone on airplane mode.
It's so they don't just have interference with the connection to the tower. I understand why they're doing it, but
if it's one phone, it's fine. But 90 phones, that's bad.
And it's funny because they still communicate when they're in the air, but you can still do it. It's just interesting to me. But in any case, 300 down speeds is great. I'm looking forward to that. And I guess just it's less latency too, which is great. Do you know what they use now for flights? It's got to be like 4 strings in a can, I think, right? Or something like that. It's pretty bad. It's so
Dude, it's horrible.
It's worse than hotel speeds. I'm trying to see what the actual
have pretty bad speeds or something.
Oh, yeah. Does a hotel give you fast internet ever?
Me?
Like any of them?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just
I think you're staying at some bad hotels, dude. I'll put you on the game then. We've got to take a trip to like No, I don't like California. We can take a trip to like Texas or something, and we'll find a good hotel.
Yeah, so I guess the peak is supposed to be 222 down and 18 up. But occasionally you might drop 8 or 9 meg during the flight.
Dude, That's enough for my YouTube video. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And,
Probably
okay,
not enough
let's.
to stream a game, but
Oh, that's enough. 200 down, stream a game? That should be more
200
plenty.
down. Wait, it did not occur to me how fast 200 down was. I was being a little bit of a dummy.
That's well. I was doing some Helldivers too on my flight to California last, and it worked great on 7 down.
I don't know if 200 down is actually what it could be. I just don't believe it because that's actually amazing. 200 down.
I know. Unfortunately, you're probably not using United, right, for your flight.
Right.
I
It'll be
mean,
okay though.
Everybody's gonna kind of copy this and use it too. So, looking forward to that. So, any case, to go beyond this, Kewsi, what is your app of the week?
Yes, app of the week this week. What if I told you I came unprepared? What if I told you I didn't have an app of the week this week? Well, then I'd also have to tell you I'm lying. I always have an app of the week.
Oh, okay.
And this week we're giving a shout out to the FaceTime app. And
Okay.
it's because I've been on a lot of FaceTime calls this week. And I always want to put it out there, like, FaceTime has some of the best features. It's got the little reaction camera. You can go like this. Please turn on. Oh, now I look dumb. Give me a second. Let me make sure this thing is on. How do I find the camera settings? It's got the little thing where you can go like this. Right,
Yeah, there it goes.
Or you can go like this and get that effect, right? FaceTime's got those cool apps. Go like this. They get some confetti in there. Or let's say I'm on a FaceTime call on my phone, right? And my phone's at 10%. Which I know, 10%. Adam, you've never been in that situation in your life, but my phone's at 10%. My iPad's at 100. Oh. My iPad's at 104% actually. Right?
104.
I'll just pick up my iPad, hit the little button that says switch call to iPad or switch call to this device, answer the call in there, and it's seamless. They don't even know I'm switching. And it's for that reason specifically that my app of the week this week is the FaceTime app.
Okay. Mine is the Meta AI app. Now, let me tell you why, Kewsi. I don't just use that like I want to use for searching AI or just using Facebook integrations. I, this week, acquired some glasses from Ray-Bans with Meta AI built into it. And I gotta say, I was not.
What am I talking about?
Yeah, you were definitely there. I wasn't quite expecting these to be something I wanted. It was a gift for Father's Day, which is not now. I get that, but the wife said, "I'm gonna get you this for Father's Day." I said, "Great, that's phenomenal." And I did like 18 minutes of research, and I'm like, these are actually pretty cool. But I gotta tell you, they're quite nice. And people that might be asking, "Do I have to have Facebook to use them?" You don't. You don't have to use Facebook at all with if you don't want to. Meta accounts required, but not Facebook. And I gotta say, taking photos and videos, it's 1080p only, which is 4K, but maybe Gen 2 will have this. But the pictures are actually really nice looking, and so is video. And it has a Bluetooth built into it, all this other stuff. But the AI app, though, for Meta, allows you to quickly import those photos and videos and to kind of get like a history of what I did for the search results and stuff like that for the asking Meta stuff. And it's pretty seamless. And I got to say, it's pretty nice. It's actually far better than the Facebook app, in my opinion, for most things. It just works. So for me, that's my app of the week.
All right, nice. Now, we actually did get through everything, and it looks like the recording's only been going for 39 minutes.
Ooh,
so we actually went crazy on time. Let's go.
Man,
goal completed.
Under an hour. Wow.
If you guys have any more feedback, let us know. As you can see, we are actually genuinely listening to the feedback and trying to change up things based on what you guys like. As far as next week, if next week's upload gets a little bit delayed, we will send out a tweet. Or why do I keep saying tweet? I don't even know if we have a Twitter. We'll send out a message or something before. Twitter doesn't even exist anymore. What am I saying? I don't even know if we have X. But we'll let you guys know because I will be out of town, so that might delay it. But hopefully not. Hopefully we can stay on schedule.
Yes.
I feel pretty confident about it. And then also here in the coming weeks, June 6th is right around the corner. Wait, is that the date?
I think so.
All right.
June 6th, yeah. I'm excited. Oh, I'm excited.
Let me check.
Dub.
Is it June 6th? It just says June.
Well, there's not an official date posted yet from Apple, so you know.
Okay,
But
well, actually, hopefully it's not June 6th because that is my brother's birthday. I just lied. His birthday is June 3rd. I am not on top of things right now.
It's okay.
June 6th is when I was going to go somewhere else, but that's not important. What's important is that we're going to try and stay on schedule. My background will look a lot different, so because I'll be in my house. Adam will be probably in the same place because he likes consistency.
I think so. And you might have a new device you're recording with. Am I not mistaken?
Yeah. We're going to have to switch microphones from this microphone to the one we have at home, the new, brand new one in a box waiting for me. So
it's so
I can't
nice.
wait.
It's a nice day for you for sure.
It's going to be a great day. I'm going to get a haircut. I haven't gotten a haircut in a minute. Guys, I'm going to be absolutely beautiful when I come back. But yeah.
Just to remind people, our Discord is kind of our hub for everything. We're going to be posting some announcements there. So if we have any delays or some problems for the podcast, which now is on video too, if you don't know by now, that's where we're going to post announcements. We're going to probably make that our centralized hub for all of our announcements. And join us there for discussions. We'll be there to talk to people. Yep. And then the Ask OMT is definitely a channel we're looking forward to seeing people there, post there, and kind of go from there. So that about wraps up for this podcast.
Yep. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. If you could take a moment to like and maybe leave a comment on YouTube to help us grow, that would be absolutely awesome. And in that comment, if you got this far, comment the word pineapples, right? Pineapples, so that we know that you're an OG. We'll go through, we'll like the comment, and we'll put you in the OG club.
Okay. Yeah. We'll give you a role in Discord. Okay.
Yeah. a day one role. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. We actually kept it under 45 minutes. This is insane. I'm proud of us.
We're making some progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Can't wait to see you next week. Stay safe this week. Stay safe.
Absolutely. Till next week. See you guys later.